The title is not clickbait. I'm actually allergic to fruits and vegetables. So, it all started out in about 5th grade. I started noticing I was getting itchy throat and getting kind of nauseous when I was eating, I believe, like apples, and then it slowly just developed to be every fruit, like one by one. One day it was fine, the next day it was not. And when I was growing up, I loved fruits. I would literally eat just like boxes of strawberries and like apples, and I still love fruit, but I can't eat it. So back then we didn't know what it was, and the research was just coming out around that time, but it wasn't very common. Nowadays you can totally find it on Google, but back then it wasn't. It was just starting with its kind of discovery of what was wrong. I went through every single test. I got an x-ray, a ultrasound, I got a lactose intolerance test, and at that time they found that I had acid reflux, which that was just, a separate problem. But they couldn't figure out why I was allergic and getting this reaction to fruits. So yeah, we didn't know what was wrong, but we were like, basically, well, just can't eat them. Vegetables I've never liked. I've never eaten vegetables really, like raw. I did for a time eat like carrots, but that's pretty much it. I've never liked vegetables, and that's kind of a different reaction. That's like when I eat it, I just like gag. Even if you hide it, people are like, it's psychological, but it's not. Like literally I'll be eating a chalupa or like taco, eating it fine and normal, and there's no lettuce, I don't see it, and then all of a sudden like there'll be like just a tiny piece, or even just like if they had lettuce and they removed it because I asked them, no lettuce, the taste is still there, and other people are like, what taste? And I'm like, lettuce tastes and smells so bad, and maybe it's just to me because like I'm very sensitive to it and like allergic to it, but it smells horrible. It's like the worst smell like almost ever, besides maybe like, I don't know, broccoli smells pretty bad and celery smells pretty bad, so it smells kind of like broccoli and celery. It's in that same family of gross smells. Yeah, lettuce, no bueno. So yeah, I would be eating it, and then all of a sudden I just like my gag reflex just like goes off, and I'm like, what's going on? And then like I taste some lettuce and I just spit it out. Like I cannot like swallow it. I cannot like force myself. If I force myself, like I'll just like feel so horrible and nauseous. So I just don't eat vegetables. It's mainly with lettuce. That's the big problem. I do eat like fried vegetables, some of them, like I can eat like fried green beans or like fried squash, and then of course I eat like potatoes and tomatoes in tomato sauce and ketchup and those things. I can eat like fried eggplant or cooked eggplant. I eat spinach, which is more of an herb, but no on the lettuce and the broccoli and asparagus and cabbage and onions and peppers and celery. I don't even know what other vegetables there are. I was like, what vegetables do people even eat? But yeah, no, I've never had a salad. People just never believe me. Like they're like, no, you're lying. They're like, oh yeah, right. Like, haha, good one. Like that's how you got out of eating your fruits and vegetables. And I'm like, no, I actually like fruits. Like I actually would eat fruits probably multiple times a day if I could. If you guys are interested, or if you also have OAS, I can talk about my orders at different places, because I know that might be a little bit interesting to see how I modify things, especially at places like Taco Bell, like kebab places, burger places, things like that. And also, like, sometimes I end up saving money because, vegetables can be extra. If I ask for a kid's meal, they usually don't come with vegetables, and if you want them, like lettuce, tomato, then you have to pay extra. So, that's an added bonus, I guess, except for my health. But yeah, people are like, how are you not dead? Someone asked me once, how are you not jaundiced? And I was like, what does that have to do with anything? But like I think they were essentially meaning like, how am I not vitamin deficient, which Actually, it's a myth. Eating your fruits and vegetables is a myth. And a lot of nutrition is actually a myth. It's true you do need vitamins. There was a story a couple of months ago about a boy who went blind because all he ate was Pringles, French fries, and white bread. I definitely eat more than that. I have a very diverse taste and I eat a lot of variety of things. But you do need vitamins, but you don't have to get them from fruits and vegetables. You can get most of them between meat and eggs, and nuts. Between those three things, you can pretty much get every vitamin except for D, which you mostly get from the sun, and most people are vitamin D deficient anyways. Vitamin K, but I do take, daily vitamins, and you get it from spinach, which I do eat sometimes, and vitamin C, which you normally find in oranges, but I do, again, drink a lot of orange juice. So yeah, so onto that part. What do I eat? I have juices, a lot of juices. I drink usually a cup of apple juice, apple cider, orange juice, or other fruit juice like a V8 pretty much every day. And then, of course, I drink probably 3 glasses of milk a day. I do drink usually a can of soda, or I'll have a coffee or a milk tea, things like that. And then in the day, I'll have pretty much a wide variety of things. I can have, again, like I said, cooked vegetables and fruits. So I can have like pizza. That's a big favorite of me, pizza and pastas. And then I eat a lot of Indian food and Asian food and Mexican food, and burgers, and steaks, seafood. I pretty much eat anything out there that's not fruits and vegetables, and I don't love to eat red meat and like burgers, especially just because I just never grew up on them. I was very much like a chicken eater my whole life. But I can't eat them. I just usually like never crave burgers unless it's like umami burger or something good like that, or like Fuddruckers. Back on to testing. So about 2 years ago, I went and got allergy tested with my brother, who's allergic to tree nuts. And that we discovered, the hard way. He had some nuts and then ended up in the ER, and he has more of like an asthmatic, like can't breathe, throat's closing up, itchy type of reaction. Whereas mine, basically when I eat a fruit, my lips, tongue, throat will all get itchy, and then I'll get very, very nauseous. I'll just feel like throwing up, and usually if I eat something else, or if I just stop eating the fruit, then within, a couple minutes, and I can speed it up by eating something else that's neutral, like, some crackers or bread. But yeah, I get very nauseous, but that will help it. But if I keep eating it, because once I've been like, I'm just going to fight through the nauseousness, so I was eating some guava, because guava is one of my favorite fruits. So I was eating some guava, and I was getting nauseous, and I was like, I'm just going to keep eating it. And I was like eating like, saltine crackers and guava just to kind of like balance it out. I've tried, taking Benadryl or Zyrtec, like allergy medicine, and it hasn't really helped, or like Zantac, which is like a heartburn and allergy medicine. But I kept eating guava, so I ate like probably, half of a guava, and oh my god, I was so nauseous. I felt horrible. I was like spitting up. I was like basically like trying to make myself throw up because I was so nauseous and felt so horrible, and it wouldn't go away. I like stopped eating and like kept trying to eat like other things like saltines and like bread and water, trying to like make it go away, but like the reaction just got worse. And that's usually the case with OAS. It's not like you get better over time. Usually you get worse over time, or the more you even like interact with it, it gets worse and worse. And in some cases it can lead to things like anaphylaxis, where you can't breathe. It just depends. Most people just get the oral syndromes, which is why it's called oral allergy syndrome, in their mouth and throat. But when it's more serious, you can get it in your stomach and feel nauseous as well. And it just kind of wherever the fruit is touching, because it's like more of an external reaction than an internal, like making you not be able to breathe and make you itchy on your body. Also, I do get affected by the smell, so especially the smell of watermelon and strawberries and bananas and oranges, like any fruit that's super ripe is really big no-no. The smell, like especially like we'll be trapped in a car and somebody will be eating an orange, it will make me so nauseous and even a little bit itchy. That's like the extent of the sensitivity. It's not life-threatening, at least as of now, but I know, yeah, like I said, there are cases where in severe times it could be life-threatening, but for me so far it's been pretty mild, just, you know, very uncomfortable. So yeah, so I got allergy tested because I wasn't before, but I was like, you know what, let's get allergy tested. So they did a scratch test on my back, and I'll show some images. So warning, if you don't want to see graphic photos of my back and of hives and rashes, then just skip ahead or, you know, look away. But here are pictures of my back, how they looked. This is a couple minutes after they stuck me, and like I had like immediate reactions. So then it was like getting to the point where they had to like stop. Like usually they wait a couple minutes before they come back and measure, but like as soon as they pricked me, I was getting allergic. So then they like, you know, put so what's new? My battery died, but we're continuing nevertheless on my phone. So sorry for the quality change. I know it happens a lot, but I usually record my videos like multiple at a time, so it's kind of inevitable. But I did want to just finish off this video without, you know, pausing and waiting for it to charge. So yeah, I got allergy tested, and basically it came back that I was very, very, very allergic to every single kind of pollen, and I'll put my chart up. But yeah, every single kind of pollen out there. And I do have some seasonal allergies. They were worse when I was younger, and they've gotten a little bit better, I think also because of climate change. The pollen's been, you know, different, and, you know, this past spring I was down in Florida for the Disney College program, so I don't really know how my allergies would have been if I was up here where I normally live, where there's a little bit more of that floral, like there's different what's it called, horticulture. There's different plants and different types of pollen. So yeah, I used to get pretty like itchy, sneezy, red eyes, like very itchy, watery eyes, and sneezing and sore throats every spring because of my pollen allergy. But basically what happens in OAS, aka oral allergy syndrome or pollen allergy syndrome, is that your body thinks that the proteins in the fruits are pollens, and so it's kind of this cross reaction, and there's tables of this you can find on Wikipedia, and so I'll put a little chart of the cross reactions. So because I'm allergic to pretty much every kind of pollen, that's why I get that cross reaction with every kind of fruit. I do eat like I can't eat like canned fruit, or like things like applesauce. I can eat like cooked apples, so like an apple pie or apple crisp. I can have, or if I like fry a banana, if I fry a banana, it's usually okay. It depends. Things like that, but not fresh, and it has to be like really like killed, like cooked to basically the point where it has no flavor. So it's like, what's the point? Then I'm just eating kind of sugar, and so I'm killing off all the like good proteins. So they did test me for fruits and vegetables, a couple of them, and I wasn't allergic to them, but because of the pollen, it does come off as an allergic reaction. But weirdly, I was allergic to tomatoes, which is random, as well as peanuts, which is also a weird thing because I literally eat peanuts all the time, no problem. I have had peanut butter my whole life, eat peanut M&Ms, eat plain peanuts, never had a problem, never had any type of allergic reaction. And yet I was positive for peanuts, but they did tell me, you know, that happens a lot. Sometimes you get positive reaction to be allergic, but then your body's not actually like allergic, so it like doesn't manifest. It's like the thing with like phenotype and genotype, where you can have the trait or the chromosome for certain things, but it just doesn't show up externally. And I was allergic to cats, which I never knew, but all of a sudden it made sense why every time I would be in someone's house who has a cat, I would be sneezing like crazy. And I'm like, oh, it's just, you know, seasonal allergies or, you know, getting a cold. But like, I'm like, no, it's the cat. So I am mildly allergic to cats. But, you know, that I don't let that affect my life too much. And actually, I don't remember if my chart was positive or not for almonds, but I am allergic to almonds a little bit. Every time I eat an almond, I get very, very itchy. So to figure out what it was, I basically had to Google and Wikipedia, because back then doctors, it wasn't really well known. Doctors didn't really know what it was, and only through Google was I able to figure out, oh, this is what it is. It sounds like this. I'm pretty sure this is what it is, oral allergy syndrome. So I kind of self-diagnosed myself, and then once I went to the allergy tester about 2 years ago, since I've had this problem since 5th grade, and yeah, nobody knew what it was, so I figured out that it was oral allergy syndrome back, 5th, 6th grade, but never really talked to doctors about it. Like, I just said, I have this problem, and that's that. Like, I never went to them for a real, diagnosis, but I was like, I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And I've told them, I can't eat fruits and vegetables. Nobody seemed too concerned. They're just like, make sure you exercise. And yeah, until I got to my allergy testing about 2 years ago. So that was, like 10 years of just me just not eating fruits, and, I'm fine. All my blood work has always come back healthy and normal, so there's no, like, vitamin deficiencies that we know of. So it's definitely, like, not something to be scared of if you are just getting the diagnosis. I think the most serious or part that affects your life the most is definitely just the eating, and just not being able to eat what other people eat or what you want to, because, a lot of times I'll be craving an apple and I'm like, I really want just an apple, like a real apple, not like juice. I want to, like, bite into the apple and have the crunchiness. Or like I want raspberries and things like that, just for like the texture, or like, I can't go like apple picking or blueberry picking, if I go, it's just like allergy stew, because the smell's so potent. And then, I can't try anything, so I just would pick stuff and be like, okay, well, someone else have some apples that I picked for you, I guess. So that's the thing that, affects your life the most. But, in terms of health and vitamins, there hasn't been, any problems. There's nothing, life-threatening. But I have been looking into finding some alternative recipes. So I recently posted my banana milk recipe, which I basically microwave a banana and then put it in a pan and, like, boil it and then fry it. So it's really dead, and then mix it up with some ice cream and milk, and sometimes I put some honey to, like, really kill it. And that usually I don't have too much allergic problems with it. I also believe it is a little bit seasonal. I never thought about it, but I saw some other people's YouTube videos about having OAS, or in other places they call it Pollen Allergy Syndrome, which is PAS in, like, the UK, which I think is a better name. The acronym's worse, but the name's better. They said that, like, it's kind of seasonal, so, like, during the springtime or when a fruit is ripe, you can't eat it, but if you're eating it off season, then you can. So I only, like, heard about this a couple of weeks ago, so I might try that and then let you guys know how that works. But if you or someone you know has some sort of itchy reactions to fruits and vegetables, please comment down below. Let me know, because I'd be super interested in forming a kind of community around that, and forming, some recipes or some hacks at restaurants of how you guys order and eat and try to stay healthy without, getting those uncomfortable allergy symptoms. And yeah, let me know your story or what you guys think. Yeah, I know a lot of people basically don't believe me or think I'm, like, joking, and it's kind of annoying and frustrating, because you're like, no, this is actual, like, pain that I'm going through, that, like, I can't eat things that I want to, and people forget or make comments, for the full story, so you can learn some more information, and just, be courteous to people who have allergies in general. Try to remember and not, offer them stuff. If you see someone just, hesitant to eat something, don't be like, why aren't you eating it? Like, whatever, because then it kind of creates, a situation. Yeah, and make sure if you're, like, ordering food for a big group, you ask about allergies, because I know a couple times people have, like, ordered, catered food for everybody, but they don't ask about allergies, so then when it comes, like, there's nothing I can really eat. Like, one time at a place I worked, they ordered Chipotle, but they just basically ordered everyone burritos and bowls, and everything had, lettuce, corn, tomatoes, onions in it. And I was like, well, I can't eat anything. Like, if you had just gotten, a plain tortilla with, like, chicken and cheese, like, that would have totally been fine. But it's like, with the amount of, like, they mix, the lettuce into the rice, I'm like, it's pretty much impossible for me to eat anything. And, it, you know, a hard situation for everyone, because I don't want to be in that place where I'm kind of not calling someone out, but making someone feel like uncomfortable and being like, well, or like making someone feel bad. And it makes me feel bad too, because I'm like, I don't want to, you know, cause any trouble, but it's like, you know, I don't have anything to eat. And you know, most times I make it work. I'll be like, oh, I'll just get a snack, and I'm used to, you know, not always, you know, getting to eat with everybody or have a less selection, but I usually am pretty prepared. I usually carry my own snacks because I do know that things like that happen a lot. So let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. We're trying to reach 1,000 subscribers in the next year, so that would be awesome if you helped out with our cause. And yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. See you next time. Bye!